Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to present my most authentic self to my new YouTube channel. Not new in terms of its inception, but new in terms of its overall presence online, to show the projects I'm working on, the struggles I have working on those projects, the success, and the larger story of what I'm trying to build for an intellectual property called Reunion. You can see it on my channel as it grows. You're going to see shorts as well as informative content about the characters, the location, its time in history, what that means, and the challenges and unique opportunities within telling a story within a historical context with fictional characters. I find all that really fascinating. There probably are 2 other people on the planet who think it's fascinating too. I hope that's you. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is think less and just record more and share my actual process. Inevitably, as we march into the future, there are going to be many aspects of our lives that are greatly improved when we find our own tribe. There are a lot of us hairless monkeys on the planet, and truthfully, we do a lot of the same things, even though we think that we are very independent and isolated in our experience. There are many people out there having a similar enough experience to who you are to have a very engaging conversation about their experience versus yours and where you can help each other. So I hope that the content I put together on this channel with my own creative struggles resonates with anyone out there trying desperately to figure out their place in the world, their value they bring to the world, meaningful enough for it to be something that can sustain you in some capacity, whether that's monetarily or creatively or sociologically. If you have initiatives you're trying to put out there in the world and share with people and you want to connect with them with a voice, whatever your voice is, I hope that you find a way to communicate that to the world. And that's really what I'm trying to do with this channel. I have put up videos in the past. I have experience working with video. I enjoy it thoroughly, but I always overthink it. I almost love the process of creating and imagining what we're going to make as much as, if not more than, the experience of sitting down, doing the nitty-gritty work and putting it together. Everybody can post a video a few times a year and hope that people think it's the most amazing thing they ever created. Not many people take the step into the process of documenting themselves, their lives, their process, their passion in a way that's ongoing and informative to both themselves and the audience. I think that's my biggest challenge. It's a real hurdle. Even to sit down and put this particular video together, which should almost intrinsically just be my greatest opportunity to just share with the world what I'm thinking. I know it's going to be littered with content that I have to cut from this piece in order to make it something meaningful to someone turning it on for the first time on YouTube and seeing what it's about, or turning it on another social media channel and having it be formatted in a way that's actually meaningful to those individuals. So I'm starting it all with kind of a Tower of Babel approach. I don't really know exactly what it is I'm trying to do with the channel, other than I can imagine a whole lot of things that would be meaningful and would resonate with my audience. And a lot of audiences I've seen enjoy other types of content that's similar, but also just have it be my own style. And I don't think you create your own style until you start slapping paint onto the canvas and until you start tweaking the parts of the engine that you know you want to make into the finest piece of machinery that you think your big multimedia machine could be. You can't really even start to test that until you open the hood. So this is my way of metaphorically opening the hood on my multimedia projects. I am building out an intellectual property. I say it that way because I'm writing a book. I'm creating content with artificial intelligence. I'm writing my own content that I see spinning off into graphic novels and short stories that are part of a universe. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm world building and universe building around my topics so that I know my characters and I know the location and I know the crises and the motivations and the wants and needs of my characters, both factual and fictional, in that particular era, 1830 to the Civil War and a little bit of Reconstruction, and what that could mean to tell infinite stories within that realm. So one part is revisiting our American history. The other is how our fictional characters within the story end up reuniting again and again throughout the series. No spoilers yet, but I plan to include a lot of spoilers on this channel. Just a heads up, if anyone's interested in just reading a book that I write a year or two from now, first book, second one, third, fourth, fifth, all the way through the series of 5 books that cover this time period, I will be smattering the entire conversation and the entire channel with information that is a spoiler for the overall story, because I want to show the experience of creating something from scratch. The third component of Reunion is really looking at this closely in terms of who we are now as individuals. How do the things that happened and the way they happened in American history affect our perception of ourselves as Americans and how we communicate with one another, how we share with one another, how we continue to build this experiment toward a better future collectively? Are there lessons that were learned and taught by life and history in that time that we have lost, that we have forgotten? When we neatly summarize little bits of American history so we know the names of a few individuals and locations and events, does that do any service for us to be able to understand the motivations, the significance of the things that were happening, why and how they happened, what would have taken place if they didn't happen? These are all major components. So this is a place where I want to explore that. I want to enjoy it. I want to share it. I want to struggle with it and have that just be visible. And I would also encourage anyone out there creating stuff in any capacity, whether you're trying to create wealth or create an intellectual property of your own, or create a book, or create a concept or a show, whatever it might be that you're working on and trying to develop, I would highly encourage anyone who wanted to share links within the content underneath comments and videos or any place else that's relevant, or DM me if you're interested, collaborate on something. I would love to do an interview all about it. Ultimately, I think being a place where people start to understand more about what they can do, how they create, and how they can learn this literacy of creating. Ultimately, we're all trying to learn our own way of bringing ourselves out to a bigger network of individuals that we can have our ideas resonate with, we can get feedback on, that we can have some level of actualization of all the creative thoughts, ideas, efforts that we put into things. Is there a place where we can actually reciprocate and communicate about how we create that stuff? And how can we make that more and more valuable over time to bring into the real life experience on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis of our lives, have people actually hear our ideas or find people who we can collaborate with to help realize our ideas? I find all that fascinating. I think we're all entering into a territory where we have a shared experience, but it's more collectively in the digital space. Most of our time today is spent communicating through our devices, and we need to find better ways to work together. And those who have figured out the best ways to work together through those devices are the ones realizing the actual finished result of their ideas. So thank you for checking this out. I absolutely can't believe you stayed this long. But nonetheless, what I'm going to say is that in the end, I am very interested in what you're working on as well. I plan to deliver as much value as I possibly can. And I also want to hear any feedback, any links, any place you want me to go look, watch, subscribe, like a video, give a comment on a video, share that information with me. I am all about reciprocating that kind of overall activity because I think it's social. I think it makes everything we're doing more interesting. And I'd love to hear what you're up to. What I promise to do is keep building this out into an intellectual property that people might want to explore in the future, making this something that can be on the screen in more written content and graphic novel content and short videos online. I'm excited to share it. I'm excited to actually take it seriously and get to work on it. I hope that you have your endeavors well underway as well. And let me know anytime you want to talk about what you're doing, what your experience is like. I'm here for it. So thanks, signing off, and we'll see you on the creative universe.